think you can't find another Spike for that, though, can you?
No, you can't use any other one.
I was thinking about Donald Trump's The Apprentice one, but
I want to keep Donald Trump away from this show. So.
but you know,
away from this show.
The song is good, so regardless of what you think of the man.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get straight on to Money in the Bank now. A match that we questioned being in the pre-show: the Bludgeon Brothers versus the Gallows and Anderson for the SmackDown Tag Titles.
Didn't watch it.
Well, I'll tell you, I thought this was probably the toughest test now that the Bludgeon Brothers had as tag team champions, because they get so many quick and dominant wins, especially against teams like the Usos. But it was nice to see them get a bit of a test against a new team that looks like they could physically threaten them as well, because they're around the same size. Not quite, but almost there. And while the titles didn't change happen, it was still a good idea, and it was a good closing stretch, because in the end it was Gallows who got the hot tag, ran wild, broke down, Rowan got dumped, and Anderson's followed with a plenta. And Harper takes down Anderson but returns, and Rowan breaks up the Magic Killer. He was about to finish off with a Magic Killer until they allowed the champs to hit the Killer Bomb for the win. And that was that. Now, Big Cass versus Daniel Bryan, the final match of Big Cass in WWE. Like, this match was one of these matches where I just think Daniel Bryan just
for Cass's last match in WWE, it actually wasn't bad.
It actually was a good match, but the thing is, though,
I didn't hate this match at all. I actually enjoyed it.
I'm not criticizing it negatively. I'm just saying, like, you know, it's still a match where I think Daniel Bryan still carries Cass more or less.
Well, of course he did. Yeah, Daniel Bryan's more experienced. He'll always do that. Yeah. And Big Cass probably was in a huff anyway because he found out he was going to have to lose.
That's a good point, yeah. It was probably the right outcome considering everything as well. In the end, though, it was Cass with the big boots, and then the back to the rack, the torture rack from Cass, but then Bryan counted out into the running knee strike. Heel hook finished off to make Cass tap out to that one.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn versus Bobby Lashley. You know, considering the injury news we heard about Sami Zayn, it makes sense for the way this match was booked, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, neither of us liked to stuff leading up to it.
It was.
So it's kind of nice.
It was the bathroom break match.
Yeah, but it's nice to have it out of the way, under the rug, never to worry about it again.
Yeah.
It was a squash.
We'll just move on quickly from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just move on quickly.
Yeah. Lashley won with his delayed suplex. That was that.
After he did like two of them, didn't he?
He did two?
Yeah, he did two delayed suplexes and then pinned them.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So, anyway, Seth Rollins versus Elias for the IC title. This was actually a class match.
It was. It was like Monday Night Rollins, Sunday Night Rollins, Tuesday Night Rollins, Wednesday Night Rollins, whatever night. It's,
every day Rollins.
Every night is Rollins. He's just on such a hot streak right now of having fantastic matches.
His selling is actually so good, isn't it? Like, not only with his knee, but his neck as well in this match.
Yeah.
And Rollins continues to deliver, but Elias really stepped up. I think this was by far his best match in WWE ever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and he felt like a really believable contender. Like, we felt like he could win, and Rollins had to deep and show desperation.
Yeah.
And in the way, he had to cheat a bit to try and beat Elias.
He did.
You know? No, but it's a credit to Elias. Like, in the end, it was a great throw offense from Elias. He got like a good near fall from an elbow drop, but Elias beats on Rollins, takes him up on top. Then Rollins slides out. His knee gives out, but then he cradles Elias for two. They trade roll ups, and then Rollins finally uses the tights to retain. Very good match. So I really enjoyed this. Now, the Miss Money in the Bank, the Women's Money in the Bank match between Ember Moon, Charlotte Flair, Naomi, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Natalia, Lana, and Sasha Banks. This match, I think, was the best Money in the Bank match by far. I think this was way better.
I preferred this over the guys one.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
Like last year's match.
Maybe not the result. The result was fine, but what happened later on, maybe not. But we'll get into it later.
But last year's was probably good, where they tried hard, but something was missing. Whereas this year, it was a different story because it just felt great. There was such a nice flow. It executed as well. The layout was very good. And everyone shined. Everyone had their moments. They incorporated the ladders very well, and there's a much better sense of urgency. And it felt like Tremaila's fun. I think, are you one of these guys who also thinks Becky Lynch should have won it?
No.
Because?
Sort of given up on hoping that WWE will finally realise what sort of star they have in Becky Lynch.
Well, here's the thing with Becky Lynch. This is just me being optimistic about it. like, you know how they have booking? They used to just, I think, for some people where they just keep losing.
Mm-hmm.
And
MVP.
it makes you... What, who?
MVP. Remember he was on that losing streak?
Well, sort of, in a weird way, it's sort of what Kerr Hawkins is going on right now. Where we're more to the point of the big match as opposed to every match of Kerr Hawkins. But the big title matches, which Becky seems to lose, it makes you want her to win more. I'd like to think it's booking, it's her booking that, but that's me being very optimistic.
It is. I think
the crowds wanted Becky to win so badly.
Yeah.
And there was teases of it. Amber Moon did a great performance as well. Like, she's doing very well in the main roster so far.
Yeah, Amber Moon. I think that was her. No, it wasn't her first pay per view, was it?
I don't know.
First main roster.
I think so.
Yeah,
I'm pretty certain
it was. It's really, she did well. Like, she did what she had to do. Even Lana was good in the match.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, Lana was very good in the match. Lynch hit her exploder.
Makes sense why the whole week beforehand they had them training for this match. The women that were involved in that match.
Yeah.
Were taking off live shows in the week leading up to Money in the Bank.
Just to train.
So they could get ready for the match itself.
And it paid off.
It works. It's the right thing to do.
It paid off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the only way you get the right practice for it at the end of the day. And the end it was Alexa Bliss who won it. A lot of people are probably looking at this, well, why Alexa Bliss? You have her been champion before. Does she need to win Money in the Bank? Why would she win as opposed to Becky Lynch?
You know why?
You tell me why.
I'll tell. It was because it was for the women's match later on.
Well, we both thought Natalya would be like that because of that.
Too obvious. I knew that's why. I didn't think Natalya. I didn't bet. I said Sasha.
Well, I think me and the lads thought it was Natalya anyway. So
yeah, I didn't think they. I thought it would have been too obvious for them to get rid of the briefcase so early. Because it's a real change. Because Carmella had it like right up to after WrestleMania.
Exactly. So it's like the complete
complete 180.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal.
Oh.
Now, the content for this match was good, but it felt like such a toxic environment for this match.
Of course it was.
Like, we tweeted out someone saying, okay, here's the chance to happen during this match. Yeah. Like, if you get your Twitter up there, like,
yeah,
we'll probably go through them.
I'll get up and I'll give out the full list of what happened. It was
like Mahal was a non-factor in this match, and Reigns, we all knew he was going to win.
Of course.
Here's the best way you could have
put
this match.
What?
It should have been just a 3-minute match.
Why did they think that this match was going to have a chance? In Chicago, of all places.
I know. Because WWE still probably wants Reigns to be a big deal, but on this, he's probably as cold as ever.
Yeah. As
cold as ever.
Okay, so the chance where...
Right.
CM Punk...
And use him if there's bad ones, don't say him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
CM Punk...
Right.
Boring.
Right.
NXT.
Right.
This is awful. Rusev Day. Johnny Wrestling. Asshole. That's not a bad word. That's fine. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks. Ole, ole, ole. The Elite. The Elite. Oh, let me go back and do that. The Elite. The Elite. That's better. Let's go Beach Ball.
Actually, I heard there's someone giving out.
This wasn't a chant, but a Mexican wave happened. You suck at security, and Vince McMahon sucks.
I could have sworn I heard a Velveteen chant.
Velveteen chant as well, yep.
Yeah. You know the way they should have booked this match? Have Mahal work over Roman for 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah, sorry. There's another one. Velveteen heard one fan try and say, not our big dog chant.
Not our big dog.
Not our big dog. End the match. People power. Enzo.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And then obviously the ever popular just booing.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Here's the way they should have booked this match. Have Mahal work over Roman for 30 seconds. Reign fires up. He does his thing. It finishes under 3 minutes. In and out. Be done. Instead of avoiding that torture again.
A very interesting theory was sent to me.
What's that?
By Peter from Superior Comic Show. So Peter, here's the shout out for you. Now it says it's being reported, but I didn't see where it's being reported, so I think this is more just a fan theory.
Probably his opinion.
Yeah. So here's the possible SummerSlam major heel turn. Right? This is why I don't think it's going to happen, and I hope they don't do this. I really hope they don't do this. But here we go. It is being reported that the main event of Extreme Rules is supposed to be a multi-man extreme elimination match of some sort, which we got confirmation of that on Raw.
That's true.
Featuring Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns. We saw those two on Raw.
Uh-huh.
Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal, and Seth Rollins. Okay. Roman is expected to win by last eliminating Rollins. Okay. It is almost certain that the main event of SummerSlam will be Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar, which will be happening if Roman wins that elimination match at Extreme Rules. For the Universal titles, and plans are not likely to change. However, in the absence of Lesnar, Reigns is set to feud with Constable Corbin. The idea is to recreate... Okay, now brace yourself for this.
Oh dear.
Do a Terry Thatcher, brace yourself for this. The idea is to recreate a Daniel Bryan-esque storyline where the authority, would screw the face out of the title. Reigns is set to face Constable Corbin at SummerSlam with the stipulation that he gets his Universal title match with Lesnar only if he beats Corbin, similar to Daniel Bryan against Triple H at the start of WrestleMania 30.
Oh dear.
Reigns is scheduled to win both matches against Corbin and then against Lesnar. However, it is being reported that Braun Strowman is likely to cash in after Reigns beats Lesnar.
That'll be happy.
The idea is to gain sympathy from the fans. Strowman is expected to turn heel and feud with Reigns till Mania, where Reigns will finally pick up the title. I see so many things wrong with that.
Or so many people don't want to see it. And it's been done before.
First of all, people will see through that you've done that before with Daniel Bryan, and they'll be sick at the thought of you regurgitating old storylines, first of all. But I guess that's what they do all the time anyway.
It's 4 years old.
And secondly...
It's 4 years old, that storyline.
And secondly... doing trying to do with Daniel Bryan to Roman Reigns, where people had bought into Daniel Bryan's. People don't buy into Roman Reigns, unfortunately.
And they probably never will.
No, they probably at this stage. And if they do this, the wording here, the idea is to gain sympathy from the fans. If Roman Reigns wins at SummerSlam, he'll be booed out of the building. And then when Braun Strowman if Braun Strowman was to do that and cash in on the same night at SummerSlam and win the title, he would get the biggest pop I think any wrestler has ever gotten before. The 100%. Pop would be bigger than the Hardys coming back at WrestleMania.
It'd be bigger than Daniel Bryan winning the title at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
Or up there with it.
The fact, this is why I don't believe this stories, because I always thought I've always talked about the incompetency of WWE booking when it comes to Roman Reigns, thinking that the fans are actually on his side, and if we do it this way, the fans will be on his side. If you do it this way, like I just described,
it's going
to be the total opposite effect.
The same right now, or worse. Yeah. Most likely worse.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it makes. But see, I know I don't think it's going to happen, but it does make sense.
Now, how's that?
In terms of, it would make sense in why you're putting the Money in the Bank on Strowman. Why Reigns is doing what Reigns is doing. And knowing Vince, this is what they'll probably do. Because Vince will get what he wants. He'll get his new pet project, Braun Strowman, holding the title for a while. And then he'll get his favourite wish could be son, Roman Reigns, to win the title at Mania, which is what he's always wanted to.
Oh, I don't know. I thought I was optimistic. WWE are way more optimistic about this stuff than I thought. Let's move on, because we're gonna get agitated by this. Carmella versus Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title. I was so upset by this finish.
Because we did mention that James Ellsworth would show up at some stage. He showed up in the wrong match.
It took so long to develop, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it felt kind of weird. And although on the opposite end of things, this is probably Carmella's best main roster performance.
Who did she think was wearing that? She was looking as if she knew who that person was.
It's not
or
that.
if it was a ghost inside it.
It's not that. It's because but maybe there could be a link to it, like, you know, because it's the mask. Maybe only a certain person wears it, like one of the warriors from Japan or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she got upset when she's seen it. In a good side of things, like, this was Carmella's best match by far. Not only as champion, but in being the main roster.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she added new things to her offense. She feels like a complete performer now. But I did not like that finish. You know what they should have done? They should have you should have had her roll up for like and hang on the tights instead of a super kick and a clean pin like that.
Yeah.
It would make Wade made more sense. But for Asuka to lose like that, I didn't like.
Asuka went like over a year unbeaten, and
to lose to a super kick to Carmella.
She's on
nothing against Carmella.
To be on a losing streak at the moment. You know, and losing clean, and
it just like maybe it's because of this aura or is in the back of the mind of Asuka's streak.
Yeah.
But at the same time, well, I don't know. It could be finished. There could be a way better finish. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Anyway, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, the WWE title in a last man standing match. This was finally the match.
This is the match that we needed.
This is the match we wanted.
Yeah.
Although I'm very thankful that this feud is ending, because I think it did over to say it's welcome. I think we're
I think it was perfect.
Think so?
Not in terms of like, I think it just ended right.
It ended right.
Yeah.
But it was over saying it's welcome.
Yeah, true.
Now, although we both called AJ to win this match before that, do you think that here's Nakamura losing another title match puts him down the card now?
Well, it looks like we mentioned it on the prediction show, and it looks like it's happening, where he's going down a title. He's going after the US title now. So they're keeping him heel. I hope they keep him heel the way he is now, because it is a better character. So yeah,
keep him as a heel. He's doing so well with that so far. But we'll see what happens. He could have some really good matches with the likes of a Jeff Hardy, but we'll get into that when we talk about SmackDown or WWE in general shortly after on. But, you know, this was a really, like many last man standing matches, when there was a lot of downtime and forced attempts for drama, but they were in this case they were very good. And that finish,
yeah,
this was by far the best WWE match, 100%. Like, the finish in the end though was so good, because it was Styles to beat the count after eating another Kinshasa, but somehow beat the counts.
I like their inventive ways of trying to beat the count by just like standing on the top, like just leaning on the announcer's table, and, you know, leaning on the edge of the ring and stuff. I don't see enough of that stuff, like that sort of realism in matches.
Yeah.
And I know, like, obviously you're not really meant to get the sort of that realism in wrestling in general, but it's always a nice touch, I think, to get it now and again.
Yeah, Nakamura begged away and finally hits another low blow on Styles. You think by now he'd wear a cup, you know? But
yeah. He begged for Styles not to hit him with the chair again.
But that finish was awesome, where Styles beats the counts, works on the announce table, Styles shoves him off into the steps, the flying forearm follows, and then a slash onto the floor off the steps.
Styles clash, wasn't it?
Styles clash, yeah. Then Nakamura beats the counts, and then Styles says, says, come on, and then literally puns him in the balls.
That's not that sound of
please tell you're inhuman if you didn't squint for that.
Oh man,
that was horrible. Everyone's reaction was...
I really hope he was wearing a cup. Outside of kayfabe, I really hope he was wearing a cup for that.
Ouch. Springboards out and then puts Nakamura through the table.
Yeah.
That was a great finish as well. And that was that. Great finish as well. So, let's see, upwards onwards now. Now, Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey.
AJ goes on to his new challenger, and
it'll be on Rusev Day.
I can't wait.
It'll be on Rusev Day.
His next challenge is on Rusev Day.
His challenger won on Rusev Day, and he's going to go against his challenger on Rusev Day as well.
You really made an effort to mess that up there, didn't you?
No, I just couldn't think of the words to express my gratitude for Rusev Day.
It's Rusev Day.
Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's title. This was a good match.
Great match.
All action, no filler.
Yeah, great match. Loved it.
And Ronda, again, impressed. This was her first one-on-one match in WWE TV now.
Yeah.
And she has such a good presence. She's like Shayna Baszler in the sense that her progression and her presence, because of her natural fighting ability, I think it's the same thing with Baszler.
Yeah.
Because she knows, and I think when they were talking about this in Low Blows, Jade made a very good point where because she knows what it's like to be in the fights, she's probably way more of a natural seller as a result of that. And this is one of Jack's better matches as a result of that, because the way because the finish was also and the finish was actually very good in my opinion, although you're in disagreement of how it was done.
No, I knew how this was going to be done, because they weren't going to put the belt on her that soon, and they can't have her lose via pin or anything this soon.
So therefore, it protects her.
So it had to be some sort of involvement from someone, but I just didn't agree with them having to waste the Money in the Bank briefcase this early. I thought you could have brought in anyone.
It's one or the other, though.
You could have brought in anyone for any reason. Like, that's what I'm saying. You could have brought in Stephanie, even to just play Stephanie's music or something like that. Just because.
Honestly, I would have thought that would be more predictable.
No, I don't think so.
In my opinion, it would.
I don't think so. I think the obvious thing was Natty, because she was in the limelight for both of them for so long.
Now, did we miss the idea of Alexa Bliss? Because let's be honest, she did have a rivalry with Nia Jax. Now, was her winning and cashing in not completely out of the factor when we analysed it, or when we thought about it, or we just didn't think of it?
I think WWE put it out of people's minds.
And very well, because we didn't think of it. It makes sense when we look at it. I think it does anyway. Yeah,
I'm not too sure.
The match ended though when Rousey looked for the armbar and Jax had a rolled up for 2. Rousey hit a Uranagi into the armbar attempt. Jax fights, but then Alexa Bliss arrives and attacks Ronda Rousey with a briefcase, causing a disqualification. Then cashes in the Money in the Bank, beats down Ronda Rousey. Jax hits a DDT on Jax. Twisted Bliss connects, and we have a new champion. Buddies never win, Nia. Buddies never win. I hope that, but I think in a way it's interesting. Like it'll be interesting development to see, or certainly with Rousey, it'll be interesting development. We'll see how it will go forward. Although we know what happened to her on Raw afterwards, it'll still be interesting to see what happens next. Like know.
Like I said, it was a fantastic match. But I just can't wait for the time that they feel confident enough with Rousey that she can start having matches week in, week out. It's not far away. Instead of having the 3-4 weeks to plan for the one match.
This 30-day suspension is probably just her graduation.
Could be. It could be the last few things. But if it's true with the whole she only signed a 1-year deal thing, then
it's just a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, the main events. The men's Money in the Bank match. Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, The Miz, Rusev, Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, Kofi Kingston from the New Day, and Samoa Joe.
I did like the reveal from the New Day.
Well, yeah.
Everyone thought it was Big E, and then Big E was running forward, and Xavier's just like, no.
It's me.
Xavier, and then he takes off the top, and it's just Kofi written on top.
It was another great match, though. It was different.
Also, can I just make a thing? The backstage segments with Kevin Owens leading up to the match, trying to get people on his side.
Yeah.
The one with the New Day was brilliant. Giving them the bag of pancakes, and then there was like little bits that people didn't really notice. One of them was obviously Big E like licking it, like looking seductively at Kevin Owens licking it. One was was Xavier Woods having a load of pancakes and counting them like money.
Oh no. Pancakes
currency.
Pancakes. I can't pronounce that properly. Pancakes. Pancakes.
And then obviously the thing is like, why don't you have some pancakes and we'll sit down and we'll talk about it. Oh, sorry, I actually don't like pancakes.
That struck a nerve.
Yeah. But yeah, the match was good.
It was different from the women's match, although it was more chaotic and had crazier spots, but it wasn't as smooth as the women's match.
It was the Braun Strowman match, though, really, wasn't it?
It was.
And this is my problem that I'm having at the moment.
With Braun?
Yeah, it's not even a problem. It's what I'm scared that's going to happen. Is that they're giving Braun so much right now. That could be a mistake.
It's because he's so over, though.
I know he's so over, and I like the fact that WWE are taking advantage, and they're finally taking advantage of someone that's over. but they're getting I feel myself they're getting really close to the point where they're giving Strowman so much that I don't know. That's just, it's not, for me, it wouldn't be believable that anyone would have a chance against him. Now, that is probably what they're building to in terms of booking. They want Strowman to be the Brock Lesnar when Brock Lesnar goes.
Maybe.
But if they're only giving Braun Strowman the briefcase so that Roman can win it off him at WrestleMania, because only Roman can beat Brock, that's it. Strowman can't beat Brock in a proper one-on-one match. It has to be, like, he has to beat up a downed man.
To be fair, like, we did enjoy the matches between Roman and Strowman, especially last year.
Oh, I did. But they were stipulation matches.
Still good matches.
I think Strowman is really good having stipulation matches.
As opposed to legit one-on-ones?
Yeah.
I don't know, I have to say.
I think not like normal one-on-ones week on week in Raw was fine, but if I'm talking about like a main event WrestleMania one-on-one match,
yeah,
I wouldn't be as confident of having a great match out with Braun, because do you remember, it wasn't Royal Rumble, it was one of the events just before Raw, I think it was TLC,
right,
that Strowman faced Brock one-on-one.
Right.
It wasn't great. Now, that could be down to Brock, I don't know, but I haven't seen enough of Braun in main event one-on-one matches without stipulation to feel confident that he could have a WrestleMania main event one-on-one with Roman Reigns. If what I talked about earlier on happens. That's my concern with it.
Right.
He's a gimmick match wrestler, it seems, at the moment, that he's excelling in. And like I'm saying, like, he's a fantastic. I love watching Strowman at the moment because he is entertaining to watch, and that's what WWE are. Sorry, they're entertaining. Yeah. Entertainment.
Yeah.
It's just if you're thinking Strowman champion, don't be excited. Don't be looking forward to having great matches with him, because I don't think he is at that level yet. But I think he could be.
But the fact is, he's so unique to every other superstar.
Oh, he is
right now.
He is.
And that's the draw of watching him.
That's the draw of watching him. The draw of watching him in these stipulation matches. That's the thing.
I don't know. I think it's in general, because even the normal tag team actually still goes ballistic when he shoulder blocks everybody into the barricades.
Yeah, when he gets a hot tag, but anyone can be like that.
Yeah, but Strowman does it so well.
I'm not saying
so well.
Like, I'm not saying what he does he doesn't do well. I'm saying in terms of trying to look forward at it, trying to have a 25 minute one-on-one match, no stipulation, main event of WrestleMania. I'm not so confident of that. Of Strowman not being able to pull off. I think he'll be able to pull off, but I don't think it's going to be as exciting as people would think it would be.
I never really thought about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it's a long way away.
It is a long way away. Maybe not so long if he actually does cash in at SummerSlam.
Exactly. So I have to see what happens. But again, this was a good match. Some really good spots, like Finn's coup de grace off the ladder into the ring. That was scary. Yeah. Obviously, Kevin Owens getting tossed onto the tables from the stage.
Kevin Owens dying.
Yeah. In the end, though, it was Strowman who came back and cuts off. Oh my God! So when he ran through the ladder, that was frightening.
Yeah, and then he nearly fell over. He nearly fell over the ladder and then after.
In the end, though,
Miz's face after he ran through it though was priceless. By the way.
Oh yeah, it's like, oh no, he's back.
Miz was like, "What the hell?" And then he just...
I don't think he thought that, but you get the idea.
Yeah, I'm trying to clean up.
No, I appreciate it. In the end, though, it was Strowman who power slams Joe and Miz. Strowman and Balor climbed. Kofi came in flied in onto Strowman, but Strowman still climbed while Balor got knocked off, and then sort of tossed Kofi away before grabbing onto
Balor. Same as sort of Becky. I think they're doing this to give Irish wrestling fans blue balls. They put Becky so close to win the Money in the Bank.
We want her to win so bad.
Basically, his hands were on it, and he didn't win it. And it was the same in the Greatest Royal Rumble. He was so close to actually winning the Intercontinental title in the ladder match, and he didn't do it then. Seth stole it off from there.
That's it.
So I think they like to give the Irish wrestling fans blue balls.
What can we do? What can we do? But anyway, let's move on. We still have the rest of WWE to talk about.
Well, I have to give my ratings, don't I?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, let's
Yes.
get into that very quickly for one more installment of
Forget those Meltzer stars.
Meltzer Stars.
You want Darren Mars bars?
Mars Bars.
Uncle Dave stars.
Meltzer Stars.
It's all about Darren Mars bars.
Mars Bars. I swear to God, I wasn't trying to avoid it. It was just like we're rushed for time now, so I just had to double check.
Well, we don't do full reviews of Raw and SmackDown anymore, so it's okay.
All right, great. Anyway, Bludgeon Brothers and Gallows and Anderson. Actually, you didn't see this match, so I'll move on to that. Big Cass and Daniel Bryan.
Like I said, it wasn't the worst match they've ever had. Obviously, for Cass's goodbye match that you probably didn't know, but I'm still only going to give it 2 Mars bars.
Okay.
2.5. Two Mars bars and a mini Mars bar.
Okay. Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley.
1 Mars bar.
1 Mars bar. I was expecting 1 Mars bar, or less than 2 anyway. Seth Rollins, Elias.
4 Mars bars.
Really?
4 Mars
Is that
bars.
good?
I really liked this match. It was one of the top matches.
Okay. Women's ladder match. Women's Money in the Bank match, sorry.
4 Mars bars.
Okay.
4 Mars bars. Up there with Seth and Elias, and I enjoyed it more than the men's one.
Roman Reigns and Jinder Mahal.
1.5 Mars bars.
Okay.
Yeah. Wasn't as bad as Sammy and Bobby, but it was pretty bad. Yeah.
Carmella, Asuka.
2 Mars bars.
The booking.
Booking.
Like, great performance from Carmella, but
Yeah.
that ending.
Book. That's the only reason why I got 2.
Yeah. AJ Nakamura.
3.5 Mars bars.
Okay.
For this. Really good end to it, the storyline. Not quite to the level of the women's, and I think that... No, I'm going to say 4. I'm going to say 4. I am going to say 4 because I don't think Seth and Elias was better than it. I think they were about on the same level, and so was the women's Money in the Bank. I think those 3 matches especially were the highlights of the night for me.
Okay. Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey.
I'm going to give this one 3. I was going to give it 3.5, but in terms of the DQ finish and stuff like that and who interfered, dropped it down to 3 Mars bars.
And finally, the men's Money in the Bank match.
3.5 Mars bars.
3.5, okay.
3.5 Mars bars. Good match. Enjoyable. But not as good as the women's and the Intercontinental and the WWE match.
Okay, cool. Okay, Grant. Well, that's the Mars bars for 1 week.
Yeah.